Second.
June 2nd?
Second.
Already. Now it's the countdown to Christmas.
I know, I can't believe we're 6 months into the year.
Yeah, 6 months until you have to start
I
getting your
didn't
Christmas
even
shopping
have the
done,
mic
right?
up in my face. There you go.
Hey, how long before they have Christmas at Walmart?
It's already going on.
3 months.
Is it?
Probably is.
Let me introduce our guests. They're already chiming in. Dr. Michael Kittell is here.
Hello.
And his lovely, what is your title, Amber? She runs stuff. That's her
I
title.
guess
She
it's kind of
runs
like a
stuff.
practice administrator. I don't know.
We're gonna find out today.
Yes.
Sorry, Mr. Kittell.
Dr. Kittell, he went to school for that name, you know.
He paid for it, that's right.
That's right, he paid for that name. Corey's wife is a doctor, but she has a doctorate. But she's Dr. Dietz, and I'm always giving him a hard time. Why don't you call her doctor? She went to school long enough, and she earned that title.
I'm sure his wife doesn't call him doctor.
No, but she's a doctor.
Right, and you want Corey to call her a doctor.
Yes.
I'm saying I'm sure his wife doesn't call him doctor.
Oh,
Walking
but
around the
does
house
she?
like, hey, Dr. Kittell.
Just the one place where you're not gonna hear that.
True.
Yeah, I understand that. So, what's going on this week, Boo?
Nothing. I don't think
Nothing?
we have a wedding Saturday. That's it.
No, this coming week. Yeah, what
Yes.
did we do last week? I don't remember.
I don't
Did
know.
we do
We are
anything?
setting you up a doctor's appointment though.
Mm.
Because his arthritis is acting up.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you'll be
yeah.
seeing you soon.
Yeah, I will be. Yeah, man, it's terrible, man, when you get the fluid in your finger swells up. Ooh, man, that stuff hurts, man.
We still haven't finalized vacation plans. So Florida, Discovery Cove, if you hear me,
Yeah, we're still
I am
looking
talking
for
to
you.
you.
I've emailed
check your
Dolphin-
LinkedIn accounts, please.
Yeah, I've emailed dolphin trainers. I've emailed all kinds of people over there just hoping to find a way to get you that dolphin experience.
We
that you
waited
want.
too late, and now it's like they have certain time slots, and I'm
Well, it's just much
heartbroken.
more now than if you, certain times a year cost more, and we didn't know that because it says as low as, and then when you go check the date, it's like,
Man,
God.
I fooled me. I'm so
3:30 a
excited.
person.
I saved the money, and I was so excited. Oh,
All right, well,
no.
I hate to do it, but right off the bat, we got kind of a crazy story here that we need to talk about, and this is a medical thing that maybe you've heard of it, maybe you haven't, Dr. Kittell, but this is a story of a woman who, well, she was constipated, and she strained too hard, and she got amnesia, 10 years, lost 10 years of memories.
That's crazy.
Now, it only lasted 8 hours. They said it's a rare condition where a valve is some kind of oxygen cutoff.
Sure.
Let's see if I can give you the exact name of this condition. Have you heard of it?
So you're saying she had an anoxic brain injury, secondary from straining too hard, trying to have a bowel.
That is correct. Yes, that is more or less what happened. An insufficient amount of oxygen being delivered to the brain caused by internal jugular vein valve incompetence.
That's crazy.
Okay.
That happened.
There's an asterisk in that Robbins pathology book that I skimmed over
Yeah,
during that exam.
that was one of them. So you've in all your years you've never heard of
It was on the exam, but that's one of the ones that you kind of just next.
Yeah, you're next.
I would
Yeah.
probably do that on purpose on some bad days. Just really,
I would love to
Try to
just
forget it.
completely be
Forget
gone,
it all
wipe my
together.
I'm
memory
sure it's
out
all
of it.
happened to all of us, but maybe not 10 years, maybe 10 minutes.
Yeah, I would take that. There are moments where I would definitely
the
take
worst
that.
part is I wonder how they found her. Like, did she fall out, like pass out on the toilet?
Yeah, more or less. And that's an embarrassing.
Well, I mean,
of
had
all
she
places.
started the wiping process? Had she
Hey,
not?
Come on,
remember.
come on.
I'm just, would she remember? Yes.
Yeah, probably.
Did she flush?
Oh,
Did someone courtesy flush for her?
That's only what a woman.
There's so many questions.
oh man. Hey, let's play just a little quick game, y'all. And this is probably not fair to you, baby, but I'm going to pit you against
I'm used to
Dr.
it. Let's
Kittell.
go. Oh, I
Right,
can
right,
handle it.
right. I'm going to pitch you against Dr. Kittell here,
All right.
okay? And whichever one of you names this song first, which, by the way, the songs all will have
He's
the
bad at it.
doctor will somehow be related to these songs when we do them.
Okay.
Whichever one of you guesses first gets 20 bonus points.
We're
Those
guessing
are-
the title. We can't just sing it. I might not know
well,
the
if
title.
you sing the words.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, is everybody ready? Here we go. Come on.
Guns N' Roses or something?
No.
You don't know, do you?
What?
Oh my God.
What? What is going on here, Amber?
Amber can answer.
Amber can answer. Amber, you
It's
answer.
Dr. Philgood.
Oh.
Thank you. God bless America.
Well, you shouldn't have started there.
Yes,
Those
I
are
should
the
have. I was
worst.
just trying. Everybody knows Dr. Feelgood.
Clearly we don't.
Well, I was wrong. Yeah, that's it, everybody.
I would have recognized when you got to the part that said dun 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 dun.
So I should have just started there, where he says doctor.
Yeah,
Okay,
then I
that
would've
makes-
got it.
When I got to the chorus, I would have gotten it.
Yes, me too.
Yeah, you would say Guns N' Roses, Dr. Feelgood. Hey, the crazy medical breakthroughs that I'm sure you're seeing a lot of this stuff on your end, probably more than we do, Dr. Kittell, but I was looking through some of the breakthroughs in the medical field in 2018, and man, I mean, it's just crazy some of the stuff that's out there. Like, did you see where, I guess they've been testing mice, and now they're on to the human trials, but some kind of medication that was already out there, but it enhanced them to live 60% longer. Now they're doing human trials on it. They say within 2 years, people could start getting it where you might live to a more average of 100, 110, even 120. Have you heard anything about that?
Haven't seen that journal article unless it came out of Mad Magazine.
It says you're not buying it.
Oh.
I haven't seen that one.
That's
No,
interesting. Do you hear a lot of stuff like this that you kind of think is just
I mean,
BS?
Yeah, I get quite a few things that depends on sources, depends on
Because
reproducibility.
there's your
of it.
source. I like
Right.
to call Patrick Turbo
Well,
Pursuit.
it's-
Nobody gives
no,
a
it's
addition.
okay.
He thinks he knows everything.
Well, I'm just reading from this, and the source, is the source? It's neuroscience, is what it says. I don't know which, bioscience is the name of this publication. And it is the medication is, hold on, I'll tell you, maybe you're familiar with it. A study came from the University of Washington, University of Missouri. It was a joint study.
Would you want to live to 120?
Rapamycin.
Me either.
Rapamycin. R-A-P-A-M-Y-C-I-N.
He's not prescribed it, Patrick.
It's for organ transplants.
Okay.
But they said in mice that it would let them live 60% longer. Do you think that doesn't necessarily translate to human?
Not necessarily. I mean, a lot of times studies like that have potential, but to go from mice genome all the way down the road, there's potentials and it warrants further study, but
Yeah.
Can't
by
call
the
it.
time it gets there, we'll just
It
have
won't
to
be
wait and
us.
see. Yeah, it won't be us. That's what she said.
Don't get excited.
He said, don't get excited.
Don't get excited.
All right, all right.
I don't know. I'd want to
Uh,
live to 120 anyway.
Yeah, I mean, do you want to live that long?
No, I'm good
I
with
guess
checking
if
out
you're
at
healthy.
70.
Depends on the condition of 120.
Well, look, we talk about.
That's true. That is true.
Right, we talk about this all the time. I mean, you take a look at Mick Jagger.
Sure.
He's 70, and he just literally had a heart condition. He had surgery.
And think about all the
and
things-
He's performing again already.
Everything he did to his body too, like drugs.
Yeah.
Why?
Speaking of that, how is Ric Flair still alive? Can you tell us that answer?
No idea. There's something in those drugs.
There is
What about
something.
Keith Richards?
Yeah, it's got
Yes,
to be.
that's another one too. Keith Richards.
Keith Richards.
He
yeah,
looks 120.
No, he's been dead for 50 years. He just doesn't know
Isn't he
it.
the one that ate his dad's remains?
He
or
snorted
something?
his dad's
Ew.
ashes. Some of
Snorted his dad's ashes.
He says that's a rumor, but I believe he probably did. Mick Jagger would probably tell you the thing about David Bowie was a rumor too, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't.
Yeah, that's gross.
You know, well, you know, to each their own. If you're, you know, David Bowie could be cute in the right get up, couldn't he?
No.
No.
Mm-mm.
A few of the other things they call medical breakthroughs of 2018, and I did not know about this, but a shot that uses no needle. Have you seen those where it says it shoots a high pressure air the size of a hair?
Yep, seen those.
Yeah. What?
Those work. Those are pretty effective. There's just high pressure jets that kind of create like through the skin. It just puts a lot of pressure through the skin. It's almost like a needleless hypodermic.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
Here's
what
a
they
fun
say.
question.
Yeah.
Hold on that. Who's worse with taking needles? Well, you're a nurse.
No,
Oh,
I
okay,
just-
well,
I just played one.
who's worse with taking needles, guys or girls? Just curious. Who would you say?
No.
Guys.
Yeah, I'd kind of say.
Because they're kind of like that with everything. right?
Yeah, they really are. I was gonna say because I don't have a problem. They don't bother me. I just don't like to look. I always look away.
Okay, let's just own it. Women have a higher threshold of pain than men. That's just the fact. I mean, you know, look, you give birth. The closest I have was like that lady passing out. You know what I mean? I don't have experience with that. They say for the closest thing, at least guys might ever experience, would be passing a kidney stone.
Yes.
Is that
That's about the closest I've heard. Haven't experienced, closest
I've not
witnessed.
experienced, I don't think I've experienced that either. I think you would know if you did, right?
Sure.
When you heard some loose change fall in the toilet, I would hope so.
All right, they're doing a lot more with cancer. With cures, it's coming further and further. How far down the road do you think we are from eliminating most cancers?
You know, I don't think we're very far at all. A lot of it depends on regulations and trials. There's a lot of rules that prevent certain trials of medications to go from what I have in the lab to be tried in the public.
Right.
And certain laws out there prevent you from saying, hey, I got something great, I can try it on you, but I'm not allowed to.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was a recent thing of regulation or a law, I think President Trump passed, and said, hey, I'm gonna make things a little easier for you to allow big pharma to allow pharmaceutical companies to allow new cancer treatments to be tried on, to be advanced to clinical trials, which was actually a real groundbreaking thing.
Yeah.
To get further, to push that further down the road, and to where people could say, I want that trial. I'm gonna die anyway. Why not give it a shot?
Yeah, I remember when he signed that, and I do think that's a good thing. Look, if you're willing to subject yourself for science, it may work, it may not. Why not take the chance? I mean, I would, absolutely.
Yeah, if you didn't have any other choice, I would.
It's a debatable thing with a lot of people, but it's worked for some. And it's kind of hard to argue, but from an advancement of science perspective,
Right.
It's hard to beat that.
It's invaluable, I'm sure, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, truly. I'll tell
What
you.
will people die from? I mean, if cancer is eliminated, I mean, outside of, your car wrecks or like accidents, it's just like that seems to be the biggest thing.
Sure. We're just
They're just different
I would
cancers.
say, I'm gonna be honest, I mean, if you get to living longer, you got the robots doing the work, probably drugs. I'm gonna go with drugs.
Yeah, I guess so.
People are gonna be bored, they're gonna be like, hey!
You'll just be on the couch.
Yes,
all the time,
that's a
watching-
good one.
they won't
seen
leave.
Wall-E. Everybody's seen Wall-E.
Wall-E.
I have not
yeah.
seen it.
The end of Wall-E.
Where they
Everybody's,
don't have, they don't have.
everybody's in robot chairs.
Right.
Big blinds.
Spoiler alert, thank you. No, just kidding. It's been out for like how long?
20 years.
I've never seen it, but.
That's hilarious. Spoiler alert, yeah. Speaking of that, you saw in, of course, everybody knows Colorado has recreational marijuana, as does Washington State. Now, here in Arkansas, we have medical marijuana, but in Colorado, first in the nation, they just legalized magic mushrooms, psilocybin, of course. About legalized, basically they've made it where, you're not gonna be in trouble for doing it.
I don't know much about mushrooms. I just know that, like, when I was younger, like in high school, I would think the people that did them, they would hallucinate, they would see things. I was always too chicken to ever do it because I was too scared of seeing something bad.
Yeah, it was.
And because I'm a good, wholesome person.
Because she's a good, wholesome person.
What do you
It
do
was.
anyway?
That is a great question.
Yeah, that was the closest, I guess, the most hallucinogenic thing that I ever tried, and it just made everything look like a cartoon. The thing that I remember most is A, my stomach hurt like crazy, and B, I could not stop laughing. I literally thought I was having
Probably why
a
your
coronary.
stomach hurt.
Yeah, I thought I was having a heart attack, but I couldn't stop laughing when I was telling the person, I think I'm dying, and I'm laughing, and they're like, yeah, that's funny. I'm like, no, I think I'm dying. It was crazy. And now in Silicon Valley, California, they do a lot of, now this is not legal, but they do it microdosing, the LSD microdosing, where they take microdoses and they say it makes people happy, basically. It eliminates depression. So they're doing a lot of research on, these I guess what some would call illicit
What'd you say,
drugs.
limited, or what was the word you used? On the-
Microdosing?
Microdosing. So who determines that? Like the
Well,
drug dealer?
I-
Like how are they
I don't-
making sure what makes it micro?
I would assume that they're running their own underground anecdotal test. I don't know how scientific they are, but
But
that's,
I've always wondered, have you heard of that, what is it, the ayahuasca?
Ayahuasca.
Ayahuasca, have you heard of that?
Mm-mm.
It's some kind of tea or something they drink. You go out of
It's
the
a-
country to do it.
yeah, it's
I'm
a
gonna look it
plant,
up.
I believe, from Peru, native to Peru.
But people go there and
And you have, they say a spiritual awakening from doing it. I think it's like mescaline to the third power. You're
Okay.
gonna hallucinate, you're gonna do all those things, and You know.
You might see Nana. You might see people that
Or you
die.
might see a T-Rex chasing you. I don't know. They say it's crazy though.
I don't know. Chelsea Handler did it.
Well, that tells you
And
all
that-
you need to know, doesn't it?
You're such a hater. Anyways,
Well,
it looks really interesting, but again, I'm probably too scared to do it. But
it does actually look.
But that reminds me of the LSD thing, because I think a lot of people go there to do it to find like some kind of peace or some kind of happiness. I don't know why. You're still gonna go back home to the same douchebag you're married to, but it is what it is.
Doesn't change reality.
It's like you
at all.
found peace and then you left.
Yeah.
Right.
Still in Peru, God. All right, here you go. This is for 25 bonus points for either of you that gets it. Here we go. Oh,
I need a doctor. That's all.
that is correct. Dr. Dre, I need a doctor. She smoked you on that.
I did
Where
not
were
say
you, Doc?
Dr.
I
Dre.
was not
Where
there.
were you, Doc?
I was
Yeah.
way.
Do you not listen to a lot of music?
Never
'Cause
heard
she
that.
said,
I never heard that one.
I thought that was.
I'm just trying to bring the top 40.
I thought that was Evanescence, to be honest.
Oh, at first, yeah, it would kind of. I never thought that'd be an interesting mashup.
So
Ooh,
technically,
let me
I
write
lost.
that down because I really do want to look at that.
You can write that
I'm
down later.
sorry.
You're
No,
doing
I
something
will
now.
forget. You know, I'll forget it. For God's sake.
All right, so we always ask 3 random questions throughout the show, just as like a get to know you better moment. So they're just random questions. I'm gonna let you answer, and he'll answer. One entire day to hang out with Dr. Phil or Dr. Oz. Who would you rather hang out with and why?
Well, I'd hang out with Oz.
Really?
Really?
Dr. Phil is my man.
I could hang out with Phil.
He puts verbs into sentences.
I'd be too afraid he'd couch time me too much.
He
You
couch
think so?
time you?
Yeah, Oz, I could just,
Correct.
I could kind of go hang out with the ER with Dr. Oz.
Yeah.
He's more of a clinician.
Yeah.
Dr.
Kind of.
Dr. Phil,
You don't like the mind ones.
I feel like he's analyzing my brain too much.
Yeah, it'd be
Yeah.
hard not to feel that way, I guess, with Dr. Phil. You'd be thinking everything
I'd say
I
something
say.
and he'd be like, what are you really thinking?
What do
Yeah.
you mean by that?
It's like,
Let's
oh,
get to the root
I
of
just
this.
said I wanted breakfast, man.
don't judge me by what I just said. I just wanted a bagel, egg, and cheese.
Exactly.
What does the bagel mean?
I love Dr. Phil, though.
I'm a big fan, but you know, I read a book called Self Matters in maybe my very early 30s by Dr. Phil, and it was just a game changer for me personally. May not be for anyone else, but and so from there I kind of embraced a lot of. He's very straight to the point.
And I watch Dr. Phil like every day when you met me.
That is true too. That is
Yes,
true.
I was hooked on Dr. Phil and the OWN channel.
The OWN channel.
I am.
What are the best and worst doctor portrayals that you've seen on television?
Probably a lot.
Like I love Scrubs. Did you
Scrubs
ever
is-
see-
Yeah.
So
Scrubs is
good.
kind of I want to say the best parody of what we really think.
Yeah.
A lot of times.
It was so well
During residency.
written. I love Dr. Cox. He was my favorite of all. Dr. Perry Cox was the perfect
Yeah.
smart ass.
Yeah, I love that show. Well, I know you have to probably hate what's the one all the girls love?
Grey's
When it's
Anatomy.
Steamy or whatever. Yeah, Grey's Anatomy.
Don't even watch.
See, I can.
See, he, as a doctor, his instincts told him it was a big steaming pile of crap, so he never had to watch it.
What about was it House?
House was awesome.
House is pretty cool just because it's a brainiac kind of thing, but
Yeah.
still didn't spend too
Still
much time.
didn't. Yeah,
No.
you don't watch a lot of TV, do you?
No.
I can tell. It looks like you watch a lot of gyms. You go to the gym a lot. Work out.
They have TV in the gym.
Well, you don't listen to music. What do you do when you're working out?
No, I mean I actually just spend a lot of time working and then spend a lot of time with the kids and the family.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, how many kids do you have, Doctor?
I have 3.
3. Now, what ages are they?
They're 11, 10, and 9.
11, 10, and 9. Boy. Well, they're all together, though. That's good. I mean, it's like bam, bam, bam. We're going to knock these 3 out.
He's about to be 13.
Oh, snap.
We had a
He's not
correction.
gonna be 13 this year because him and Dad are like,
Yeah, well, okay, I got that.
It's okay.
All right.
It's
all
you're
right.
about to have a teenager too.
That's true.
Do what now?
He'll have a teenager soon too. So.
Oh,
2
yeah.
boys and a girl. I think boys are probably easier than girls, though.
Oh, they must be. I'm thankful every single day that I don't have a daughter. Oh, my God, I'm thankful every day.
Yeah, me
And
too.
we're almost to the promised land. I mean, we've got one left at home, and he is almost.
He'll be a senior this year.
This year, and
Are you
boom.
sad or are you happy?
Oh, no.
No, No.
No, I'm excited because I did the mistake of having a kid when I was really young, and so I was like 18, and I know then it was so scary, and it really was. But I knew then too, I never want to do this again. Like I just don't feel like I was put on this earth to like make a bunch of kids. I'm not that person. So I knew that was it. That's my one and only. I'm done. And now, even though it was scary, and people are like, you shouldn't do it when you're young, blah blah blah. Now I'm like, look at you guys, like with all these elementary kids, and I'm like, I'm 37 and I'm about to be out, son. I'm like, I have plenty of time not to be like, I'm not old yet. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm excited. He is. He'll be done here too.
But then you can go see the
That's
doctor.
right. I'll be giving me here too.
I'm kidding. Not that soon.
No, Brett, not that soon. Wow.
Not that soon.
A year or two, man. That's not so much.
I was kidding. You probably have a good solid 10 on you.
Yeah.
If you don't
I
quit
got a solid
smoking.
10. I got a solid 10. Smoking is terrible.
He's
It
pushing
is.
50, isn't
Yes, December.
Wow, you just gonna throw that out there? aren't
December
you?
is the big. Hey, it is this year, right?
Yes. Yes. I don't acknowledge any age. I defy age. I'm like Ric Flair.
You're like Ric Flair.
Nothing's gonna stop me.
God, I was about to
won't
say that.
allow it. Woo! You probably didn't grow up watching.
I need you to get Ric
I need-
Flair money.
Pro wrestling?
Right. Yeah, you probably didn't grow up watching wrestling.
I
you?
did.
Didn't? Okay. All right. So we find a common ground.
Who was your favorite wrestler?
Oh, back then it was, gosh, I was into The Rock and,
Yes.
all
That's
those.
my favorite.
I still remember my 8th grade talent show was the whole WWF skit.
Wow.
And it was WWF back then because that was before the Wildlife Federation sued them and made them
So,
change it to
George-
WWE.
Gorgeous Jimmy Garvin. Remember, I'm talking about like Sunshine
Oh,
and all that.
Jimmy Garvin. James
Superfly
Garvin.
Jimmy Snuka.
Yeah, yeah.
Jake the Snake Roberts.
The Junkyard Dog.
I watched it a little bit.
The Midnight Express.
I had brothers though. I'm the only girl, and I had older brothers,
The
and
Freebirds.
so I got all the boy stuff.
Remember any of those?
No, not Freebird.
The Freebirds? No.
Well, here it was what
That
the
was
rock and
Georgia.
roll, whatever.
Who?
It was remember the two? There was some here, and you'd go see them at Barton.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've seen almost every wrestler you can think of now. At this, I mean, most of them. At this
Junkyard
point.
Dog. That's
Yeah,
what
saw
it
him.
is.
Yeah, Hacksaw Jim Dugan. Yes,
Duggan. Don't say
Duggan.
Dugan. It just sounds horrible.
Is that right?
Dugan.
I didn't
It
know.
probably really is Dugan.
You better get it right, boy.
Hey, Southern people take that for real.
Oh, I took it for real. So what kind of, as far as did you do as a kid? You watch, of course, you watched the WWF. What things did you do?
Oh, typical kind of thing. Played sports, had a paper route.
Yeah, I had a paper route as well.
Yeah, had that through high school actually.
Really?
What sport did you play?
Football. That was
Football.
Now, my paper route I had for, I don't know, about 4 years, and it would take me 4 trips. It was probably a car route that I was doing on a bike. It would take me 4 trips. That's how big it was, and that's with the front and back load on a bicycle, But I would, on trash day, I had a route, and I would pick up items that people threw away that I thought were marketable. I'd clean them up and have yard sales so I could buy
That's where it
comic
started,
books.
huh?
Yeah.
With your
That's exactly where it started. Yeah, I learned I had to hustle on my own if I wanted it, The
It's never stopped. But did you say you have to have 10 different sources of revenue?
seven sources of revenue. If you have 7 revenue sources that are consistent, you should be a millionaire within a certain number of years. But I still haven't. It's hard to have 7.
But he's
You
a
have to have some-
workaholic,
you have to have some
literally.
time.
Like
I am.
he can't sit at home and not be working.
It's hard for me. I'm just restless so naturally where I just want to do something.
Yeah.
My brain requires occupation. If I sit down and relax, I just go to sleep, and that's boring to me.
So here's the real question: to WebMD or not to WebMD?
Oh, that's a great question.
Do not.
Yeah, I know too many people that get obsessed and start thinking everything under the sun's wrong with them.
They're done.
So yeah, I feel like my oldest son, his son, he's he's gotten a lot better with age. But when he was younger,
Mhm.
anything that would happen, he thought he was dying. He had a cough, he had leukemia. It always needed to just craziness. But anyways, a big thing is people that get on WebMD and do that. So you say
the
no.
information's out there, and I think it's a useful tool, but that's all it is. It's a tool.
Mm.
But if you take that tool as fact, and then you interpret that for your own diagnosis, then that's wrong.
Yeah.
And then you go see your doctor in the emergency room as this is what I have, then you already shut down whatever kind of conversation you may have.
Right.
Does that get on your nerves when patients
Oh.
try to tell you what's wrong with them?
Yes.
I bet it
Yeah, I
does.
can see
Well, I mean, because sometimes people show up with, here's a printout, this is what I have, and you have to have a conversation about what may or may not be rational.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you didn't just fly in from Connecticut. But
Right.
this disease process is only in Connecticut. Even though you have symptoms, I mean, it's just one of those things that,
Well, it's what they call, I think, a yes, maybe.
sure.
You might fit the symptoms, but it may not be the accurate thing for you.
Any one of those things will list all these possibilities, and it's just like if you read the package insert of Tylenol,
Right.
of all the side effects. It's everything, because they have to report everything. So any one of those online things have to give you the disclaimers of every symptom and diagnosis that are possible. And people will put in symptom checkers, but they're all tools, and everyone will say this is not meant to diagnose you.
Right.
Take it to your physician and use it as a tool to help come up with your best treatment plan.
Right.
Not to say this is what I have and this is what I need, but how to best care for me.
What do you think if you had to tell people, don't take this over-the-counter drug,
Okay.
just one that you could pull from the lineup, what would you warn people about?
Oh, if there was one from the lineup, I'd probably say aspirin.
Aspirin.
Why? I heard aspirin, like an aspirin a day or something is supposed to be good for not having a heart attack.
Most time people I think just take it inappropriately. Either too much aspirin for migraine headaches. Sometimes people take too much for cardio prevention, that they think they need it when they don't, and studies show that there's increased risk of hemorrhage or other bleeding episodes, and it's not really recommended.
That's crazy.
So it's hard to say if there's one. I mean, you can take that theory, or you can go from Tylenol to anti-inflammatories, and
Right.
aspirin is an anti-inflammatory, so you can lump that in with Aleve and ibuprofen. But if you had to say one drug that might be harmful out of all the others, it's kind of hard. You're putting me in a little bit of a box with it. I'd probably say aspirin, but
Now, what's something that most people don't take, but everybody should?
That was gonna bring up my next question, so let me just bring this
Come
together.
on, bring it.
Because I don't go see Dr. Kittell. Patrick does. He's not
Yeah.
my doctor. I love my doctor. I've had him for years. I can't cheat on him. So, but I took our youngest, Tyler there, and he suggested Tyler start taking probiotics. And I was like, oh, okay, he's buff, he works out, he knows what he's talking about. So we did get the probiotics. Patrick's like, vitamins aren't any, they're not good. They don't do anything. And then we were at our friend's house, and his friend said the same thing, Ray. He's
What?
like, vitamins don't do anything. That's BS. And so I'm like, but you clearly
Probiotics
recommended it.
different
So
than a
please
vitamin.
set this man straight.
But those are two different things.
It's still a vitamin of some sort, is it not?
No, it's a bacteria.
yes.
Killer. Okay, so, but you have probiotics for different parts. You have when I was at Walmart, I was like, dang, there's so many different kinds. So I just went with
Probiotics are more just, if you want to think about it, it's more digestive enzymes, good bacteria for your colon and gut. It's more kind of where your immune system lives. So you're really supporting your immune system.
Gotcha.
And by that, you kind of help support your health. It helps support digestion, but if you help support digestion, you help support nutrient intake, which helps support vitamin intake.
So it's not like a laxative, though.
No.
Well, I'm just curious.
But they've proven, at least in recent years, more and more studies say that just taking like vitamin C or vitamin D or vitamin E have proven to not,
Do you
the body
take
won't
vitamins?
absorb it.
I do.
So do you believe in them?
I do.
Okay, all right. Now, what about the argument against them? You just like, no?
You can, it's all user dependent. I don't think you can brush any
Fair.
of it with a big, broad stroke. There are instances where if you had to take a broad swath of a population, say vitamin C across the board is not indicated. If I was the regulatory agency over the entire US, I couldn't recommend it because some people would inappropriately take it.
Gotcha.
But in some cases that it's not a bad thing to do.
Inappropriately take vitamins? Are there highs to
Like,
get on
Are
vitamins?
there
There,
people,
you could overtake certain vitamins and can have certain toxicities.
you get, on one hand, you got the heroin junkies, then you got the vitamin C junkies, they're shooting
Yeah, the
up, they're doing
Flintstone junkies.
exercise. Yeah, they're cooking down
They're
Flintstone
made and
vitamins.
just slamming to
Yeah.
Fred.
Yeah, I feel good today.
So with Patrick turning 50 this year, what does he need to do? What is he?
Oh, let's
A
find
colonic.
out. A what?
A colonic.
I want to do one of those
Well, he'll
so
need to
bad.
have
Why would you
Colonoscopy
even
too.
say that to me?
I just threw that out there.
Oh
He
my
has
God.
done. He has done one of those, but it's
No,
been.
that's a colonoscopy.
Yeah.
Right.
A colonic's the one where, you
I know.
they-
I want to get the colonic done.
they-
I think that'll
they-
be fun.
They flood it, run it, and, you know, clean it out.
I
Yeah,
can
that's
only
terrible.
imagine that's a good thing, though.
Doesn't sound fun though.
I mean,
Just
I'm
throw it out
down.
My mom has Crohn's, I've seen them before, trust me.
Describe what it smells like, just 'cause it's
No,
funny. It's not nasty.
no.
No, just tell them you say it's the something off the
No, it would,
87, like a muffler or something.
it's like,
that
it's
expression.
like, yeah, taking a muffler off a 78 Pinto,
That's what he
it's
said.
like.
Anyways, that cracks me up every time.
Yeah, no, it was abusive. It was
It was
abusive.
abusive.
It was not right. She should have been kept outside, I'll be honest. Is that wrong to say? I'm sorry, but my mom should have been kept outside.
Okay, Patrick also thinks this is BS. Gluten. He thinks that if somebody says they are gluten,
A very small percentage are celiacs, the rest of them is crap. And boxers.
which
Boxer
Bonnie
dogs.
Russ Robertson would
Boxer
like to
dogs
hear this
and
segment.
celiacs. That's it.
Well, I mean, I can't agree with that. There are a very small percentage that who people who are diagnosed celiac,
Yes.
but there are quite a few people who are gluten sensitive.
What does that mean?
Just
That you're
The
a
har-
pussy?
I'm so glad you're getting. You are the old white man on the porch. Get
Wow,
off
that
my
is,
yard.
that
No,
is
just honestly
very.
that-
You're getting
they-
shot down.
they have certain sensitivities to gluten within their diet in some form, and that abstaining from that actually helps improve their gut inflammation.
It hurts
So-
their tummy.
In a roundabout way, that avoiding those things helps their tummy hurt
Okay.
less.
Okay, yeah, but aren't there a lot of things that I mean,
The
some
less
people avoid
ossification of their
SpaghettiOs
tummy.
because they get, you know,
Heartburn.
heartburn.
Sure.
But I'm not, you know, like going around pushing no SpaghettiOs on people. I mean, that's my problem, right?
That's.
But there's a whole
you can
industry
go-
on gluten.
Sans SpaghettiOs is your thing.
That's my new campaign.
What is it?
Down with Chef Boyardee. That's what it is. Chef Boyardee must die.
All red sauces should die. And hot sauces, hot things aren't good for you after 50, right?
Oh no, hot sauce is great.
Really? Because
In
last colonoscopy said.
In moderation, I mean, I used to pride myself on the iron stomach, but yeah, as you get older,
It does change.
It does
There's nothing
change.
good about it.
Yeah, when I went to that colonoscopy she's talking to, they did an upper GI and a lower GI both. And the doctor said, you eat a lot of hot sauce? I was like, well, yeah, I mean, I like it quite a bit. She goes, he puts it on, I was before Frank, I was putting it on everything, you know? And he goes,
He really was.
you get a lot of indigestion, acid reflux? And I was like, no, not at all. He goes, well, you're about to. And I'm like, what? He goes, see this inflammation here? And he was showing me the picture, and I was like, okay, whatever. I blew it off. I swear to God, within 2 weeks, all of a sudden I was like, oh God,
Yeah.
oh my, I had to hang it up. I mean, every once in a while I'll do it, and maybe once, twice a month.
Yeah, it'll make you think
Once he put
twice.
that in his head, then he realized.
Yeah, it really did, and that's what was crazy is that it wasn't long after that doctor's appointment. I mean, that doctor called it
He did, he
literally.
called his shot, and he was
He
right.
said you're about to, and yeah. So I think he's tried to do better about making sure he doesn't put a lot of hot stuff on his food.
Also woke up in the middle of the colonoscopy, which was
Oh.
freaky. Oh. Woo, yeah.
Imagine.
Yeah, just talking about a repressed vision. It's like
It goes back to making me think
PTSD.
about the David Bowie thing.
Yes, yes. Patrick took a selfie with him.
Does chicken soup fight a cold? Is that just stuff women say, wives tell?
Women.
It's if it works for you, sure.
I
Like that answer.
Yeah.
It's a good
Yeah.
one.
That's as good as I'm not touching this, I guess. What about neti pots? Are you a believer in those?
Neti pots do help.
Yeah?
What about no spray every single day of your life? Every single day.
Like decongestant, Afrin type.
Afrin.
That's
Oxymetazoline
3 days.
hydrochloride.
No more.
After
0.05%.
After more than 3 days in a row can actually create issues.
Yeah, I've been doing it for 35 years, I think now. 30 years, something like that. I'm not even exaggerating every single day.
Yeah,
but
that's
I don't
crazy to
abuse
me.
it though.
Well, that's
You know?
abuse every single
Well,
day.
I have a collapsed nasal passage, and I have on the
From
right
that?
side.
Is
Huh?
it from using it?
It's just his mouth.
No.
Somebody busted him in the face.
No, it's
I'm just kidding. I don't know.
it's been that way for a long time. I think that my nose probably was broken in a fight when I was young. Shocking that anyone would want to hit me. Because of that, I think it may have done damage, but it's very constricted, very whatever you call that. But so if I can't breathe, I immediately get a headache. It's like boom, immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Left nostril, just fine, no problem at all. They did at one point when I was diagnosed with sleep apnea. They said that I could have surgery, but it might change my voice. And I was like, well, I can't do that right now.
It's like Barbara Streisand.
Yeah, it's
Well,
not bringing
I
home
don't have that kind of
Streisand
paycheck.
checks.
Yeah, I don't have that.
Change that voice. What do you think it would change to so
I don't
bad?
know.
It's not like you're gonna sound like a girl.
I don't know.
I think
I
it'd
don't
be
know what
fine.
would happen. You know?
But it can't like kill you or anything if you use it forever.
No, it won't kill you. It's just gonna create chronic issues.
Or there might be some kind of cancer that comes from it we just don't know about because you use it every single day.
We'll just have to wait for that mice study to come out.
Yes.
I'm hedging my bet on medical technology
Well,
for my kids, not me.
I
I'm
was gonna
done.
say that's not
I'm
gonna
done.
be in your time.
Yeah, no, in my time I won't.
They're gonna say, sir, the damage is done.
I just want to see the drones flying over delivering stuff in my time. If I can see that, just drones everywhere.
What is the one thing you do want to see in your time?
Probably, they're probably more based off of that exoskeleton stuff.
Oh, like in Aliens where Ripley has that suit.
Yeah, I mean, that's right on the cusp, but I think.
You like superhero shows, movies?
Yeah, I'm kind of a geek
Yeah,
with that.
that's it.
Well, you,
Oh, that's what he does. He does go to the movies a lot.
Oh, do you?
Kind
A movie
of,
buff?
I'm a big nerd.
It's okay,
Now,
so is Patrick.
yeah, I am too, and I'm not ashamed of that. When I went into your office, you had Star Wars stuff up. So I assume that's at the top of the food chain on.
Yeah, it's up there.
Yeah. Now,
Reclaiming my 80s slowly.
well, yeah, I was just telling my kids last night because I was talking about Avengers Endgame and how that particular film is the greatest comic book movie ever made, in my opinion. There are lots of arguments and valid reasons why there could be arguments. But for delivering everything you ever envisioned as a kid, that one has everybody who's anybody in it, with the exception of the X-Men. But I was comparing it to the first Star Wars, because in 1977, my aunt took me to the drive-in movie theater to see Star Wars, and it was just one of those game-changing moments where you, even at a young age, you're like, this is big, this is real, this is crazy, And look what it's done since then. They're just now opening that Galaxy's Edge at Disney, which
Disney, right.
which I'm sure is going to take them to another level. So, what Star Wars is your favorite? Which one?
Oh, I had Empire Strikes Back's probably.
That is the correct answer. I appreciate that. That was the only correct answer if you're a Star Wars fan. Who do you hate the most in the Star Wars people?
Oh, it'd be Jar Jar.
Yeah, that is the correct answer. Also, Jar Jar Binks, we hate you, so please go away. Actually, I saw that guy, George Lucas said that Jar Jar Binks was one of his favorite characters. And the guy who played him, apparently, his life was basically ruined playing that character, he said. It just absolutely, he went into depression because so many people hated him. Like, it's just a role, right? You can play another character down the road or something.
I've literally never seen any of those movies.
That is
Any
true.
of them.
And you have a son?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, I'm just not into it. If it can't happen in real life, I don't watch it.
No, like the Real Housewives of Atlanta, that's straight real. That's
Well,
absolute
That is
reality.
gutter trash, and it happens every day in
Yeah.
life.
Scripted.
And I like
I've
it.
never watched that.
Yeah.
Or
I like the Housewives. I like different ones. I like reality TV.
I do like the 90 Day Fiance and Married at First Sight.
I have watched that a couple of
I
times.
do it at
I've
the
not
end and
seen
just-
either of
just
those
binge
things.
watch
I
it.
just I like reality shows because I just like seeing people and their drama. I guess their mess. It's fun.
Now,
Makes you feel normal.
How did you become, quote, a nerd? What were you into as a young person that led you down nerd road?
Nerd.
That's it. Well, I mean, I was kind of a Star Wars geek, and just that fascination of what is or what can be possible.
Yeah, I mean, did you like comic books as well? Were you a comic book person or no?
Really wasn't into comic books. Just
Okay.
kind of a daydreamer in a lot of
No, I
ways.
got you. Now, other than Star Wars, what would you say your favorite sci-fi movie franchises might be?
Battlestar Galactica.
Mm-hmm. That was a big show for a long time. Yeah.
What
it
was the
Apollo
one
and-
movie you tried to get me to watch where everybody on Earth was running from something, and then there was a little snake with a camera on it?
That's called War of the Worlds.
That was the one I was
With Tom
out. I was
Cruise
like,
is-
never again. This is
That was a good one.
horrible.
That
I
is a
bet
good
it would
one.
never happen.
Never done in by.
A common virus, I think, or common cold, maybe.
Yeah,
some-
I struggle with
something
those.
with
I
birds.
can't remember.
Yeah, but if it was some kind of sickness or common thing.
It was something weird.
But it was really, I like that. It was the first time a big disaster film was taking a more intimate approach and stayed with one family the whole time, and I thought that was unique. But
All right, so
that's easy stuff.
let's talk about really the whole main reason why we have Dr. Kittell here.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he's just opened. Well, I say just. How long has your clinic been open now?
Officially, April 8th was the first.
Hey, that's my son's birthday.
Hey, y'all get right up on those mics.
So yeah, let me first explain, and I know you don't know this, like how Patrick ended up at your office. But we've been married almost 10 years now, and I remember when we first met, or when we first got married, he had another doctor.
Who we will not
I
name.
know we will not name, but
He's a good doctor.
I guess he was nice. He was his doctor, but again, like I've had my doctor forever. I trust him. Like he knows everything. You know what I mean? You just feel like you should have that relationship with your doctor. But so Patrick twisted his ankle like at our old house, and I had to actually go with him to the doctor. Oh my gosh, it was a nightmare for me. I was like, how do you do this? How do you come here? I could not understand. Now look, everybody knows I'm mixed. Like my mom's Costa Rican. I get the whole, but I have to understand you. I could not understand what this man was saying to him. So much so that like he had to leave the office, go get another doctor to come in there and try to help him understand. And I was like,
That is actually true.
I was like, this is your family doctor? And I was like, I'm not knocking him, but I am saying, you're getting to the right page where you just need somebody you can talk to. Find somebody that you can
If you don't
Communicate.
Yes.
You know what? You spend your 20s, maybe even your early 30s in what I call invincible mode. And if you don't know what I'm saying, then you're probably in your 20s or very early 30s. Because once you get past that and things start to happen in your body, you're like, oh, I'm not invincible. I'll be damned.
Yeah, it's like when you
You know?
go to the hospital, that guy's gonna come see you,
Yeah.
or what? You want them to know who you are.
And so I used to go to the doctor maybe once a year, twice a year tops, and when I started going more and more frequently like that, I was like, maybe I should have a,
So we threw up a good old post on Facebook and was like, hey, who do you recommend for a family doctor?
yeah.
And one of your patients
Yeah, that's
recommended
true.
you. Give a shout out to Laura Yance Crowder.
Yeah,
Laura
yeah.
Crowder.
Mhm.
So anyways, she suggested y'all.
That's true, yeah.
And then Patrick went and
Well,
it's been-
it was a two-step thing. Number one, I needed to feel like I could relate to the person, since that's what I was going for. And number two, I hate waiting. It infuriates me. Maybe I shouldn't, but waiting a long time at the doctor's office is such. I'm just like, why does it take so long?
it is annoying, especially when you see people just standing
And
around. That's the worst.
Anecdotally speaking, just for myself, I can say I've very rarely ever been in the waiting room where you've been for over 10 minutes, maybe 15 tops.
That's good.
My on-air partner, Corey, he says sometimes he sits 2 hours. I'm like, why? Don't you have a life? Don't you want to do something else?
Oh, I couldn't do 2 hours.
No.
I would be so frustrated I would leave.
So those two things, and yep, I'm gonna stick it out. And so when you left the clinic you were at and opened your own, I was pretty excited about that. But it's a different kind of clinic maybe than the traditional clinic, because you're not. Well, they tell them how the Kittell clinic works.
Well, so it's a little different in that we moved away from the traditional model of, I guess you would kind of describe it. Well, Amber, you can probably speak a little bit more better about the setup of that.
Yeah, it's a private paid clinic. We don't do insurance. It's more just
Simple.
yeah,
Simplified.
it is very simplified. It's more traditional, old school. He gets to spend more time with the patient. He enjoys seeing the patient. The difference is just You saw him at the previous clinic, so
Well-
you see the difference, and just having that time, getting 30 minutes to spend with a patient, which before it was 5 minutes, and
Yeah.
rushed.
Well,
And,
I can speak to my experiences because I know that you know, there's certain things that you know, they want to professionally speak on, so I'll be the person who will breach that territory. Yeah, it's awesome because I don't have to, I can submit for insurance reimbursal, but you don't have to, all that red tape is cleared out.
So if you
know?
don't have insurance at all,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh, I can't afford to go to the doctor, you guys keep it
Well,
simple at about.
we do.
But that's the thing is that most people I think would think right off the bat, oh, well,
They
how
can-
much
they-
is
yeah,
that?
they
I
think they can't
afford
do
that. Wrong. Trust me when I tell you wrong, because I was like, really? This is the, I can live with that. That's,
So just a basic doctor's appointment. Just,
it was less than I was paying in copay. I'll
So
tell
if you,
that.
if you have a cold, you have a cough. Like I feel like I have the flu maybe, and I just dropped what a 7,500 somewhere like that. But that's simple.
It is, and you know, and I do appreciate the fact that
You can
I
go
get
give blood.
time.
I think somebody said last
So
week
there's-
on your
Oh,
station.
plasma.
There's a lot of things people don't realize. They can use their HSA card,
Yeah.
and that's fine, or their flexible spending. And then a lot of things have changed this year. Like if you don't have insurance, there's no tax penalty. A lot of people don't realize
Oh,
that.
that is so
I
nice.
think there's like 4 states that's kept the penalty, but we're not one of them. So,
Right.
so like I've heard of some 26-year-olds that dropped off their parents' insurance and they don't know what to do. Well, if they're healthy and they don't want to take out a policy,
Right.
or
Yeah,
maybe
if
just-
you're still invincible, right? And you don't want to carry the big Cadillac insurance plan, you're kind of, you know, hedging your bets, and I understand why. I've been there, done that.
It's not even about the invincible thing anymore. We figured out this year and next year when it's open enrollment,
This is true.
I'm probably gonna get off his insurance because it is cheaper for me to pay my doctor the simple one doctor's appointment, you know, then it's like $9,000 a year
It's
last
a little
year.
more than that.
And it was like, man, if let's say I go 4 times a year, 3 times a year, I'm under $500, and I'm like, whoa, I am shelling out these people how much money? So I'm literally
It's-
thinking about dropping insurance.
Yeah, it's catastrophic care is what I would describe it as. It's really designed, even though they tell you otherwise, it's designed for those big events. You know, you go to the hospital and they charge you $1 million gazillion dollars. If you don't have insurance, you know, staring down the loaded gun of a lot of.
Well, I work out a lot, so I don't have to worry about that.
When you
Right,
get,
right,
like,
right.
short-
I'm just
they-
kidding.
they
Are
have-
y'all gonna laugh because most people do at that point?
They have short-term plans that are catastrophic, that are inexpensive too, that people don't
Yeah.
realize.
Yeah, so we're definitely gonna look at it again.
But when you get 40, there's gonna be things that you have to start doing too, so you have to think about that. You know?
Yes.
You have to.
Couple more years.
Yeah, so you'll have to keep all those things in mind
I
too when
know.
you're making decisions on your
I know.
insurance.
That's right. Reminder. It's coming for her just
Yeah,
like it did.
it'll
me.
be fun for you.
Yeah, you can't stop it, to my knowledge. A big thing in this state, we just opened a couple of dispensaries in Hot Springs. Medical marijuana is really big. You are one of the doctors that can help people determine if they would be qualified for the use of medical marijuana. Is that correct? Is that a right way to put it?
Yeah, that's correct. I do the certification for medical marijuana.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's something to keep in mind. I don't know what percentage of doctors out there do it, but I can tell you that this is.
Slim.
It is pretty slim. You also are a flight surgeon and do flight physicals, which I know not many doctors do.
Right. So I do the FAA flight physicals, as well as the DOT or the Department of Transportation physicals. So pretty much your DOT, FAA physicals I also provide.
Based on what you know about me, and I'm clearly giving you all the HIPAA room you want here. This is completely open, all waivers signed. Based on what you know about me, you'd be very comfortable with me flying an F-14 Tomcat, right?
Just the Matchbox kind, yes.
The
The
Matchbox.
Matchbox kind.
It's gonna be hard to fit in, but-
You don't think I'd be a good Maverick?
With or without the T?
With or without the T.
The thing that women, not to say that men don't care, but he also does weight management, and it's been really, really cool to watch them come in and see them drop the weight, and it's just been amazing.
Oh, what do you do for them? Do you come up with a meal plan? Because that is my biggest problem, Dr. Kittell. I am not a cook.
He bases it on each individual too, so.
So, I wish I could just have somebody create me a meal plan.
And then what?
I need someone to cook that meal plan.
Right.
And
And
if I can
someone
find
not
somebody to
go
feed me.
Somebody else to go to the grocery store.
I will order the groceries.
Right.
Online.
Quick list.
That is the best way to do it now these days.
Don't be jealous.
Now, where is your clinic located?
Hold on, I wasn't done with my question.
Oh, my bad, I'm sorry.
I said, how do you do it? Do you guys come up with an exercise plan? Like,
The way I pretty much do weight management is more of a holistic kind of top-down approach. You're gonna be able to lose weight if you combine both it's really kind of goes from your mental and physical health. You gotta buy in both mentally, but I'm also gonna use some pharmaceuticals to help you as well.
you're gonna want it. Oh, pharmaceuticals. Yes. I'm going. No, I'm
Yeah,
just
you're
kidding.
hitting oatmeal pills. Have you heard of those?
Oatmeal pills.
Oatmeal.
Just expanding your belly.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, it's like sawdust, just swells up in there. This is like-
Sawdust even. Ew.
Oh, that's
All right,
yeah.
so that's cool. Yeah, he does have a military background.
Yeah,
so,
well, he's still actively, is it the reserves or the guard?
The Guard.
and Arkansas is big on supporting their troops.
Well,
know. So hey, if you're looking for a doctor and you like to support our troops, this is the man.
Yeah, now you said that you are you right now Lieutenant Colonel? Is that?
Yes.
Yes, Lieutenant Colonel.
You
That's-
are a busy guy, huh? Wow.
Yeah.
So you can, since he didn't know the music stuff, I guess
Yeah.
you can.
Look, we shot a featurette, a video featurette that we'll put online later today about the Kittell Clinic. And one of the things I noticed, and I guess because it was a different clinic where he was at before, is when you come down the hall where all of the rooms for the patients are, it's just this whole list of credentials. You don't have enough wall space for all of them. It's ridiculous. I'm like, who has that amount of time to earn that many credentials in their life?
You have to be pretty proud of yourself.
He doesn't.
Like the only award I ever got was like, well, I did win Arkansas's Funniest 2011.
That's true, you did.
But other than that, nothing.
I once won a 10-speed in a Cub Scout competition.
No way. You would.
But-
You hadn't been on a bike.
Hold on. Here's the thing that I've never told is that almost nobody showed up. There were only 2 of us.
Oh no.
So-
No wonder you won.
And
Is that
it was
what
like
you
a
used for your paper
trivia
route?
thing, and by
Is that
default, I
the
won the
bike you
10-speed.
Yeah, is that the bike you use for your paper route?
It is the bike I use for my
That's
paper
how it all
route.
started.
Yeah, and I had my picture in the paper with the bike.
Full circle.
I was a winner. Doesn't matter how many people competed, I was a winner. That's what you need to
You
know.
started your whole.
It did, started my entrepreneurship. Yeah, I do have, see, but the problem is, I work as much as he does without the results he gets. You see the difference? Yeah, he's rocking it out. I'm still like, am I gonna have enough for the light bill this time, honey?
But
What do
you're a workaholic too. Clearly, you have to be. I mean,
stay
if you're,
busy.
yeah. So do you work out at home? Because clearly you work out. So do you
No,
do that at home or do you go to a gym?
No, I kind of just go outside.
You just go outside and do it.
I work
You
out
just
with
lift up tree
I
trunks.
work out with my kids. I train them. I come out with little Tabata type workouts, just little stuff I do.
What is Tabata?
They're like little, kind of 20 seconds on, 10-minute rest.
I resent you so
20
much. You know what my
seconds,
dad, you know
it
what my
really
dad,
does.
hold on, I resent him so much because the only workout my dad did is pick up those cigarette butts. And that was my
Give
workout.
me the TV remote.
Yeah, give me the remote.
Give me a glass
beer.
of tea.
My
Yeah,
dad
it's
would
a
call
beer.
me from the back of the, Patrick, come here.
I used to hate that.
And he'd say, hey, give me that ashtray. What? Really? You could have just reached up a little bit. Yeah, so I did, but good for your kids, for real. That's really awesome that you're doing that. For
You
your
said
kids.
had 20 seconds of activity and
Yeah,
then
so an example of a Tabata would be 20 burpees, 10-second rest, then you move on to 20 lunges, 10-second rest,
Not
and
the
you
burpees
do
like we would think of.
you do
Burpees.
rounds of that, and the workout lasts about 30 minutes.
that's cool.
I once knew, I don't think I've ever told the story before. There was a girl that I dated, like for 10 minutes, basically. I talked to her on the phone or something, and then I went over to her house one time, and she was, for discipline, she made her kid do up-downs, disciplinary wise. And to me, that freaked me out, because I was like, man, this kid's gonna have bad knees by the time he's 19. Is working, is up downs or workout type things?
As a punishment, good.
Is that a healthy alternative or no?
No, that's a healthy alternative.
I
That is.
had a Marine dad. I remember having to hold milk jugs out
He
like
probably
this with
grew
our
up to be a
nose.
good kid. I probably screwed up.
Maybe you did.
No,
I
I
think
better
got
than-
you, boo.
It's better
You
than
gotta
beatings.
find how they respond.
Right.
And there's always a little bit of balance. I mean, sometimes kids will respond to certain types of discipline, and you just gotta find that little bit of balance as a parent.
Yeah, I think that's true. I think a lot of it has to do with good communication, and communicating expectations to your kid helps a lot. If they don't know what they're supposed to be doing, it's hard to do it.
I should do that to you every time you mess up. Tell
You
you to
should.
get down and give me like whatever.
Dropping
what
to
you
be
call 'em?
20. Oh, well, up downs. That's what those are
Up-downs.
like. You lift your.
You go
up
down and you
with
never get back up.
your- Well, my back
Then you
is
have
not
to
that
schedule an
great.
appointment and come in and see.
Yeah. I mean, he's only allotted so many visits a year.
We do have a wheelchair, so.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, you guys are great. That's fantastic.
Good arm work.
What kind of test, once you hit, let's say 40, what kind of things should you begin to schedule for yourself, health-wise, to evaluate? How do you best evaluate your own health besides, I just feel this way and come in and talk to the doctor?
So say at 40?
Well, we'll just start there.
So at 40, I mean, of course, you always want to do your annual physicals. You always want to monitor your blood work on an annual basis unless you're following any specific processes, whether your cholesterol's high, you're pre-diabetic, or something specific like that. You'll learn a lot from your family history. Uncle John had a heart attack at 45. So-and-so had developed colon cancer at 50. Kind of gives you an idea of what to expect or what to kind of look out for. You always kind of want to pay attention to, it's little things. Have I had changes? What are the changes in my bowel habits? Are there changes in my stool? Skin changes, vision changes. Little things like that are little things you always bring up to your doctor. And that's why it's always important to see your doctor on a routine basis.
Yeah.
So you can bring those things up.
Speaking
And
of,
that way we're aware.
Speaking of changing stool, if you don't know, I refinish furniture. So if you got stools that you need refinished or built, please reach
Or
out
you
to
can
me.
lose your memory.
Oh my gosh, we are gonna have to wrap this thing up.
Yeah, all
Yeah,
right, well,
we have less than 5 minutes.
less than 5 minutes. All right, well, in your own words, Amber, Dr. Kittell, what do you think would be the reason for someone to come to the Kittell Clinic versus any other great facility out there? What do you think would be your pitch, your elevator pitch?
It's really just, it's back to the basics, taking care of the patient. It's all about the patient, and
It's more personal. It feels more personal.
It is, and everybody that's come in, we haven't had one person that's been displeased. Everybody's come in happy. It's just a really good and positive environment. Our staff is great. We just have a really good.
You don't feel like you're being judged.
When you,
or
you've
just
been there,
pushed
so
through the
you
mill.
know,
Yeah.
we try to be really.
Yeah, and it's not like y'all
Well,
knew.
it's not we don't
Okay.
have to try. It's just how it is because it's.
Yeah, from my perspective, it's very personalized. It's very customized. You're not going to sit in a lobby for an hour and a half of your day with all the other sick people coughing on you. You're going to get in and you're going to see the doctor, and he's not going to feel rushed. You're not going to feel like, I got to spit it out in 30 seconds because he's going to be gone before I know it.
It's been amazing though because we've had such a good support. So many people in the community have helped us, and
That's
it's
awesome.
it's been pretty great to see.
It was pretty cool because when I went in, I saw a bunch of artwork, furniture items that they had gotten from the reclaimed artisan that were in there, which is really cool.
Your head exploded.
Well, there's like that, and like our IT people have been great. There's just a lot of people that we've met over the years, and they've all kind of come together and helped us.
Yeah, but I think that says a lot.
I love
speaks
that
a
kind of
lot
stuff.
to the people involved in your clinic, because without them caring or feeling strongly about I
They're
feel
all
like
local
this is
too.
a good thing.
They're local.
And that's
Yeah.
one of our things. We love to do local, no matter what it is. Like businesses, like I would rather give my money to a doctor that is more personal and it doesn't feel like you're just rushing me through there and it's just a system. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I do. I appreciate that. Like in restaurants, clothing stores, whatever. And even when it comes down to a doctor, even his divorce attorney, I love her. If I ever get a divorce, I'm using her.
I don't know if it works like that. All right, everybody, that's probably.
Whoever gets to her first.
Oh, stop it. Anyway, so if you need a
I'm
DJ.
keeping Dr. Kittell. All right, I get custody of him then.
Okay. Well, listen, if you need a DJ,
Hey, holler at us.
Reach out to us. If you need something built,
Hey,
reach out to
yeah, we
him.
can do that. Officiate your wedding? We
You
can
need
do
a
that.
shoulder to cry on.
That's Laura.
Don't call me.
Yeah, all right.
All right, bye guys.
Thanks, everybody. See you next week.